Hello and welcome to the online module that goes over inclusion and response to intervention. My name is Dr. Jez and I will be walking you through this. Today we're going to go over inclusive education, then the site-based inclusivity assessment that you'll be administering to a school, either one you work with, or if you need help contacting somebody, let me know and I will give you some contact information from a colleague of mine that you can call and interview. Then there's the response to intervention and multi-tiered system of support overview. And then we'll be going through the IRIS module on response to intervention, and then finally doing the wrap-up. So just to talk a little bit about inclusive environments. Inclusive environments is basically the idea that all students should be able to work together, which means in turn that all teachers should be able to work with all students. And all students should have age-appropriate classes and assignments. That being said, the way that the assignments are and created and also what they address may change depending on the student who you're working with. Some styles of service delivery include, well, A, having a student just be on your class list and you're the full-time teacher and you have somebody who, their case manager, who is then supporting you with making sure that you're able to provide the right accommodations, modifications, work on the goals, and that type of thing. Then there's push-in, and that is when a student, or mainstreaming it's sometimes called, where a student just kind of shows up in the class, 1 or 2 classes a day sometimes, and then somebody should be working with you on exactly how you need to support them. There's paraeducation support, and that would be you have like a paraeducator or an instructional aide come in with the student. Sometimes they're assigned to an actual student, sometimes they're assigned to a classroom, and then that person would help support the students who needed assistance in the class. There's the co-teaching or collaborative teaching, which is usually when you have either a paraeducator or a special educator who comes into the classroom and works with you there's usually 6 different ways that you often see co-teaching happen, which we will go more into throughout the semester. And then there's also the service delivery support. So this could be somebody helping you, maybe learn an assistive technology, or maybe modify your curriculum, or helping the students with note-taking in your class, or studying for the test, or that type of thing. So what are the things that you're supposed to be doing as a general educator? You should read the IEP and consult with the special education case manager. Get to know what the student needs and how the student learns so that you can help support them best. You need to address and monitor progress on IEP goals, and then communicate this with the case manager so that they can make sure to communicate it with the powers that be, which oftentimes is the parent, or they can work with the student on making sure that their needs are being met. And if something needs to be altered, like for example more supports being given in some way, then the case manager can help you make sure that that's happening. You also need to provide whatever services, accommodations, and modifications are outlined in the IEP. The IEP is a legal document. So as the teacher of a student with an IEP, then you are expected to do what is asked of you. And the IEPs are designed by the IEP team, which is actually the teacher, the special education teacher, the student's family, the administrator from the school, and a general education teacher. So you should all be part of that decision making and support that student will get. It's expected that you do adapt curriculum and instruction. One way that we'll be talking about doing this is through Universal Design for Learning. This is the idea that if we actually design our curriculum and our instruction in such a way that multiple learners can access it, then we will be more successful for our students and also for ourselves. And so really thinking about how you're designing something before you're doing it is always best. So we'll go more into that throughout the semester. Making sure you attend the IEP meeting. Be part of the conversation on what works for the student and what supports they might need. Collaborate with the case manager and the IEP team. So this could be possibly in planning, this could be in supporting the social emotional well-being of the student. There's a lot of different ways that you can collaborate with the special education personnel. Incorporate life skills training into your assignments. So whether it's biology or math or English, remembering that it's a positive experience for all students to learn important life skills such as organization, such as problem solving, and self-advocacy. So as an educator, the more that we can do that within our classes, the more success our students can find. And then finally, provide behavior management, really focusing on what your role is in your classroom, in supporting your students, in including all students, in helping even sometimes the staff understand how to really work with and support all learners. And then also creating a safe environment for your students to learn and grow and challenge themselves. So who benefits? Everyone. The parents benefit because they know that their child is being taken care of and is being exposed to high standards. The student gets to be around their peers get to be around all different types of people, because once they graduate, everybody is actually together in this world. So learning how to be more accepting and inclusive is an important skill for all ages. And the students also get to see different perspectives of the different learners. So it's a really powerful opportunity for all schools to look at. So I just wanted to go over the site-based assessment that you were assigned in class. And I just want you to see right here, we've got, you're going to please rate the implementation of the following practices. So either excellent, satisfactory, unsatisfactory, or not at all. And then please rate each of the following in relation to the need for assistance. So extensive assistance, moderate assistance, somewhat assistance, not at all. And then you can see that the form has different headings. So for example, the first one is around the environment and how inclusive the environment is. So are the students included in age-appropriate general education classrooms or classes? The school is one of these, the one the student would attend if they didn't have a disability, and so on and so forth. So you can go through that. I'm going to actually pull up the full survey so that we can kind of take a look. So notice that it's got environment, school climate, staff integration and collaboration, and student integration. You're going to put an X in the box that best describes who you are and the type of school that it is. So you can just write the school site and the date, and then you might be other, or you could be a teacher that's at the site. I did have a principal in one of my classes one time. I've had some instructional aides. So whatever best fits you. And then we want to know the school level. And then it goes right into the survey. So like I said, the first one, inclusion indicator, is environment. Then it goes into school climate. School climate is really how the people work together. So the principal is ultimately responsible for the program, which includes supervision and evaluation of all staff. The general school community is accepting of students with disabilities. So you just kind of rate both sides, and then we have the next one, which is staff integration and collaboration. So special and general educators meet at least once a month for collaborative student level planning for students who are included. And then it provides even more examples of that, so to see how much they're working together. And then the final part is student inclusion. Students' IEPs and instructional programs include behavioral support strategies, if necessary, that are positive and utilize natural consequences and corrections. So it goes through and asks also about all the students. So once you finish that, you can see that there's, and I'm going to give you a hard copy of this in class, and then you can just write directly on here. And then at the bottom, I just want you to kind of write any notes or any things that kind of stuck out to you. Because that will be part of, you can, pull these kind of things that kind of dawn on you as you're working on this. You can put that into your activity. So there you go. The next thing that we're going to look at is effective schools. And here we have to make an effective inclusive school, we know that you need evidence-based practices. So we actually know how to teach people to read. We know how to teach math. But what we find is that a lot of teachers aren't implementing these practices that we know work. And so one of the things that inclusive schools really need to do is make sure that they're actually implementing these practices. So you can see here on this triangle that majority of students, 80 to 90%, will, if you have a real positive program, will do well. So academically, you have universal intervention, so evidence-based interventions. So it could be a reading program. Behaviorally, you have universal interventions, so and they're preventive and proactive. So this would be your behavior management system within the school. And that everybody follows the same rules. I worked at one school where we had a no hat rule, and the no hat rule worked really well as long as all of the instructors and teachers and staff were following it. But as soon as one person allowed hats in their room and then another one didn't, then that of course caused more problems. I know cell phones are a huge issue on campuses right now, and so the more consistency that you have, then oftentimes the more success you have. So then about 5 to 10% of students, they actually would benefit from the targeted group intervention. So this is just some students who need a little bit extra help. And so this is where this multi-tiered system of support or response to intervention, that's what these three levels are. So if we do good practices on the bottom level, then most people will be okay. Then we can kind of increase some targeted intervention. So this might be a small group support session, or it could be, giving them an additional supplemental materials or that type of thing. And really, the final part of this multi-tiered system of support is around the 1 to 5% of students. And those are the ones that you've tried all of the best practices, and then you tried a little bit extra support, and yet the student's still not making progress. And so then that's when you kind of go to that higher level. And once again, this is around academics and it's around behavior. So now we're going to go to the IRIS module. So here is the link, and I'll also have this embedded in the online module within Blackboard. But I wanted to kind of go through and highlight some of the important pieces of this, of response to intervention that you need to know as teachers. So please click on the next video, which is titled IRIS Module RTI Overview. Thank you.